Mahmoud Khalil, born in a Palestinian refugee camp in Syria, arrived in the U.S. on a student visa in 2022. He became a legal permanent resident last year and is now facing deportation proceedings.
We're in court today because the United States government, after arresting our client Mehmoud Khalil, spirited him overnight to Louisiana in order to avoid the jurisdiction of the courts in New York and New Jersey. We were here to insist that the court take jurisdiction of this case, bring him back to New Jersey, and then immediately thereafter rule on his request for release, request for bail, and rule on his broader petition that his detention is unconstitutional because, as we said in court, this is not any routine immigration case or habeas transfer case. This is a case where the United States government has created a policy targeting Palestinian activists and specifically Mehmoud Khalil for arrest, detention, and potential removal because the United States government disagrees with his constitutionally protected right to dissent from U.S. foreign policy. So what they've done in court today is dangerous. What they're ultimately trying to do to so many student activists is chilling.
Workers are by your side.
Workers are by your side.
Up, up with liberation.
Up, up with liberation.
Down, down with deportation.
Down, down with deportation.
Up, up with liberation.
Up.
The most important thing to keep in mind about what's going on with Mr. Khalil is that he is not alone. There are people behind you who are here for him, who are still standing in solidarity with the Palestinian people in defense of their human rights, and in solidarity with the many others at this point who, like Mr. Khalil, are either in ICE custody because of their constitutionally protected speech or are at risk of ICE detention and deportation because of their speech and their viewpoints, which the government happens to disagree with. So the most important thing to take away from today is that no matter what happens in court, what's most important is for all of us to keep up the pressure to let this government know that it cannot suppress speech, any form of speech, including pro-Palestinian speech, and that what happens outside of court is oftentimes much more important than whatever takes place in court. The judge, of course, is going to make his ruling. That is, we've done all we can on that front, and we await that ruling. The part that we can control is keeping the pressure up, because, of course, the government is banking on these people behind you who are protesting, who are rallying for Mahmoud and the others to dissipate. They're banking on media attention dissipating so that they can get away with doing what they are doing to Mahmoud and the others. And so it's very important for all of us to keep up our efforts and to keep up our work until Mahmoud is home.
With liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down, down with deportation. Up with liberation.
Up with liberation.
Down, down with deportation.
Down with deportation.
Up.
As we await the court's ruling, what I am reminded of is the egregious nature of what the government has done. It is anti-democratic, un-American, illegal, and unconstitutional to suppress speech, censor somebody, detain them, and attempt to deport them and revoke their green card for speaking their mind. Regardless of where you might fall on the ideological spectrum, regardless of what your speech is, if you care about free speech, if you care about democracy, if you care about the pro-Palestinian or any other sort of advocacy that folks have in this country, you should be outraged by what the government has done to our client, Mehmoud Khalil. Look, as we await the decision from today's hearing, I want to make sure that we echo what we're seeing in the streets. The momentum is with us, the people are with us, and the power is with us. It's important for us to stand strong and continue, because we're not going to back down when our government tries to attack our most fundamental and most bedrock principles of our democracy.
The government's motivation here is to delay and as much as possible, the adjudication of the actual legality of their unconstitutional actions. They want to avoid that, and they also want to claim power, to take power away from the courts and the court's jurisdiction, and have their own authority to move someone wherever they want, and therefore try and avoid the jurisdiction or power of this court to actually hear their claims.
You will rise. You will rise. Workers are by your side. The people are by your side.
People are being Mahmoud right now.
We want justice. You say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Hands off our students now.
Right now.
We want justice. You say how?
We want justice, you say.
The reason they are fighting so hard on jurisdiction, as extraordinary as that is because they want to buy time. They want to buy time in the hope that all of you will go away, buy time in the hope that all of these people will go away, and so that they can get away with what they're trying to do to Mr. Khalil and to others.
When Palestine is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
We would have preferred that he heard our arguments on bail today and decided everything together as quickly as possible, but we're hopeful that he will decide this issue, this jurisdictional issue first, and then move very, very quickly to decide the bail motion, given the sort of outrageous circumstances of this case and the exigent circumstances of this case, including now running over 2 weeks of confinement and his wife's impending birth.
Let them fall. Deportation. Down with occupation. ICE and YPD out of our communities.
Free Mahmoud right now!
As everybody can imagine, Noor Abdullah, Mr. Khalil's wife, is going through an extremely difficult period of time. She has said publicly that Mr. Khalil was her main support during her pregnancy. He prepared all her meals. He made sure she took the medications she needed to take. The fact that he was taken away from her in her 8 months of pregnancy, she's supposed to give birth in April. She is a U.S. citizen. Their child will be a U.S. citizen. He was a green card holder. They had every reason to expect stability and to look forward to the birth of their first child. Instead, she has to wonder whether he will be here when that child is born. And that is an injustice that I think everyone here, certainly the people in the back who have massed consistently to support Mr. Khalil and to support the human rights of Palestinians, oppose and object to. And I think most Americans would also find that objectionable. That's not how the government should move. There's no reason for him to be in detention, no matter what the government's claims are on the immigration side. He should be with his family, and he can fight his case in immigration court from there.
Out of our communities now. Thank you so much.